Welcome back to another episode. We're going to be doing another custom build. As you can see, I've built the chassis and added 3 axles and 6 wheels, so we can have the start of a true 6x6. All the running gears in place and the linkages are connected. The suspension is working with loads of travel, and I've gone and added the 300 RPM motor, so it'll be nice and slow and torquey. And I've mounted the servo on the front as well. Right, choosing a body, in my infinite wisdom I decided to go for this one. Boom, the Land Rover Defender 110. And what I've done is chop a bit off the back of it and added another wheel arch and back of the car basically to it, so it's now a flatbed, and that fits quite nicely on there, so that looks pretty good to me. And what we're going to do is use this container that I found and mount that on the back there. So obviously I've cut that up already. Now hopefully that, fingers crossed, I'm going to make that tip, so I'll be able to drive around, pick up some gravel or whatever and go and tip it off somewhere, so it should make things quite interesting. So I've stuck it briefly with the contactor. I want it to be really strong, as strong as I can get it, so I'm going to put a support brace along this edge. I've got some, that is carbon fibre rod, so that's really strong stuff. And to glue it in, I'm going to try out some 2-part epoxy.
And he'll stand it.
Get me rotted, I'm smothered. It's one of them moments when you think to yourself, should I put gloves on? No, fully too well, it's too late. Okay, so I've got a bead of that stuff. Hopefully that will give it lots more strength. Now I might add a little bit of this stuff whilst I've got it there. Try and get a bit on the roof. I don't really want it dribbling. I've still got to add another beam. Perfect. Let's see how long it takes to dry. Okay, so I've filled it. I've used some model filler, more Revel stuff there. Time to get some sanding done, hopefully. See how it goes. I'll try and keep as much detail as I can, to be honest. Okay, so everything's sanded down, and hopefully I've managed to keep quite a lot of the detail without losing any. So now I think it's time for paint, really. Being a construction style vehicle, we're going to be going with a construction yellow. So some more Revel paint there, so I've got to mix that with some thinners and basically hope that it's going to work. I've not used that type of paint before for airbrushing, but fingers crossed, it'll be good. It'll be good. See how it goes. consistency we want. Not a clue. Not a clue. Okay, so I think we should probably start with this piece. Get in there. First coat done. So the paint's dry. It's had 5 coats, so it's got a nice thick face colour. I think it's way too clean at the moment, especially for a construction style vehicle. So let's get adding some health and safety to it, eh? That'd be the first thing, I reckon. Get HSE involved. Right, so I've spent ages masking this up now. We're going to be doing the black chevrons on the roof and on the side of the flatbed. So, when it's time to get some paint on the go. Now I know these lines haven't come out absolutely true, but don't worry about it. By the time I've done this weathering techniques, you won't even see it. And I'll straighten that right up. I want to get some red on the go now.
In this episode of What Colour Fingers Does Mike Have Today? They are red. Red.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is use some 400 grit wet and dry and just go over it on all the rough areas and try and sort of scruff it up a little bit more, blend them lines in a bit better as well. Right, so now what I'm going to do is mix up some really runny paint and use some browns and some blacks and basically try and bring out as much detail as I can. Just adding tiny little bits to the sort of gaps along the door, and then you can actually see it just chase itself along. Just tiny bits here and there. Use a Q-tip to sort of blend it in as well. Here you can see I've mounted a servo onto the side, and I've also added a hinge onto the back to lift it. And over here you can see that I've put the receiver on the bottom of the roof, and I've cut and managed to stick a tiny little switch going through the back window. Over at the front you can see that I've resined in a piece of metal. Now it's time to get on with all the small details. Right, that's the door handles done. Now it's time to get on with these lights, I suppose. Steady, 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 steady. Got it, yes. Right guys, as you can see, I've managed to build this little plate that slips in there, and I made that out of just a little piece of metal. I think it was a coffee tin or something. Yeah, just made that. And what I've done is cut a hole through the tab so the battery can go through, and then notch that so that the cable can get through where the door handle is. Right, as you can see, I'm going to be using the actual headlight surrounds from the Orlandoo, but I'm going to be cutting them up. So I'm going to chop off as much excess as I can. It's so good everything looks like. So now what I'm going to do is drill some holes for the antennas, so one for the receiver and one for the VTX. I'm going to do one on the top, and I'll also be doing one on the side. Right, so now I've got to try and stuff all of this stuff inside exactly where it needs to be. Getting the FPV camera in the right place, hard work. So I've got this from Drone Junkie, it is the decals for the interior. Now it's time to start on the wing mirrors. There are more holes. Well, I'm going to go over this thing one last time with the airbrush and finish these wing mirrors off, and then it's time for the big reveal. This thing turned out amazing. the Land Rover Defender tipper. Love it. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video, guys, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos, especially featuring this bad boy. Cheers.